Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Me, Ernest Hancock, and my good friend Larken Rose, someone that has been very inspirational to me and to a lot of people. And I'm really looking forward to him participating in our first inaugural edition of Freedom's Phoenix e-zine for tablets. And we're putting it together right now. Now, we're already getting articles they're starting to come in. We got Jacob Hornberger. I have Karen Kwiatkowski. I have Charles Goyette. We've been promised an article from Ron Paul. Hopefully I'm not going to bug him too much. I mean, you don't want to be hammering on him. I know he's busy, but he said so. We'll look forward to that. Then we have a bunch of people. Anthony Gregory. Oh, that's going to be good. Eric Garris, antiwar.com. I mean, we need to get and penetrate, and of course, Larken Rose, because we are 4 years from where we were going into the Levolution. Now, we started Levolution like in February. Dr. Paul really didn't kind of embrace it or even announce he's running for president until about now. So this foundation, what if, going into 2012, to the next wave of activists, we can have some kind of influence and share what we know, what we've learned, what we knew even before last time, what actually happened last time, what's going to happen. We have Josh Manuel from Ron Paul Forums. They're contributing. We have Ian Freeman, from LNR. They're going to Liberty News Radio. They're going to be providing information on how people can replicate the message using services that they have. They're purchasing more time, another year for their satellite to be able to have that available to go. I mean, it's growing. And as we're going into 2012, what happens when we share with this generation next that has a great foundation infrastructure that's already there? The problem is this. We're dealing with politics. In politics, all they want to do is get a big, giant suitcase filled with votes and influence and activities and enthusiasm, and somebody wants to hold the handle. I've always known this. I'm not, the real power is in culture, and it happens outside of any kind of control like that. So what we want to do is encourage people to learn the truth. Where that is, Dr. Paul does a great job. But we're playing politics. So we just, when things don't go exactly the way they're working for or hope, should they be discouraged? Should we be discouraged from Dr. Paul not going to the convention last time, not opposing Obama last time? What was accomplished? How far did we go? During that time, Janet Napolitano, now head of the Gestapo, Homeland Security, was governor here in Arizona. One of her main, number one, push it, come hell or high water, we are going to have taxpayer-funded in the state of Arizona preschool. We're talking 3-year-olds. It was such a big deal to her. And I'm like, why? Well, of course, because it provides for early indoctrination. Now, Larken, man, monologue me. Tell me how and why and the manifestations of that you see this start at such an early age that we got kids, heck, in the 60s thinking their grandma's issued by police. So, help me out with that.
Yep, and if Obama gets his way, maybe they will be issued by the police pretty soon. The message of authority is everywhere, and it's not until you start examining it that you notice that it's absolutely everywhere. I mean, the parent who says, do it because I said so, and I'm your father, even that is the message to that little tiny brain just starting to figure out what the heck the world is that he's in. The message is, okay, I'm the obedient one. Somebody else is in charge. Somebody else is the other class that can tell me what to do. And then you go to school and you learn, oh, you're of that class who can tell me what to do. Your authority, it really is perceiving as a different entity. Like I said, they both look like human beings, but the rules that apply to them are completely different. Morality is different. That's the way kids see it, because that's the way the entire society represents it to them, whether it's parents or teachers or anything else. Now, some of this is very openly intentional. The school system we have is modeled, the school system and systems in most of the world, including here, were modeled after the Prussian system, which was openly, admittedly designed to make an easily controlled populace, especially for things like war, so that when we say, go kill somebody, the stupid little underlings will. That was, I mean, they openly admitted that was what they were trying to accomplish from the Prussian system, and they copied it here. Well, gosh, why would you copy it here unless you had the same intention? And the key is that the message is so ubiquitous that you don't notice it as a message. It's like you walk out every day and you look up and, oh, there's the sun in the sky. It's not a message, it's just, that's what is. It's just reality. And you go out every day and there's the sun in the sky. It's just what is. You wake up every day and the other people who are authority, who the rules are different for, they tell you what to do. That's how it is. And if you obey, you're good. And if you disobey, you're bad. That's how it is.
You know, Larken, I just really got exposed to the glaring obviousness of this just, less than a week ago. I think it was last weekend, I put in 1984, the old John Hurt one.
Yep.
And, I don't know, 70s, 80s, whenever that was. And I was watching, and they had Big Brother up on the screen. They had their little pep rally going on. And they'd show, what was his name, Emmanuel Goldstein, or whoever the Osama bin Laden guy was.
Right,
and they go, hate, traitor. I mean, they're just getting all animated. This guy, and what he said meant nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom, Big Brother comes up. Oh, Big Brother, yeah. You know, it was so much conditioning. And I saw the same thing because right before I did this, I had flipped on the news. And it was the same. It was just, it was just, a little bit more, polished around the edges. But it was the same crowd screaming at the same figure that they put up du jour, the guy we're supposed to hate, by the same Big Brother's going to save us. I mean, it was the same. It's like a formula that George Orwell went, here, I can write a book about this. It's like the, Secret Handshake Club manual, volume number 3. I mean, I could see this. Is there a solution? Is there a cure? I mean, it sounds like what you're trying to do with your book is the most dangerous superstition is first acknowledging that there's some dangerous superstition. I mean, what is it that you're trying to warn us of?
It's really just a matter of having people see the lie for what it is. Because if we were stuck with a bunch of people who, like, in their personal daily lives, like to rob from other people and murder each other and stuff, we'd be doomed. Anybody rational, the best chance you'd have is run off in the woods and live by yourself. But most people, their values are just fine. Their morals are just fine. We can find things to nitpick about, but in their daily lives, they behave fairly well to each other and get along just fine, except when it comes to the mythology about government and authority. And when an authority says, oh, if you want your neighbor forced to fund this thing, come to me. You're not allowed to do it, you little school kid. It's bad for you to hit your neighbor, but if you can get the teacher to hit the kid next to you, that's perfectly fine. And so everybody is trained to look to this thing called authority and government to do their thuggery for them. But the most important part is they are taught that it's good when the authority does it, because the authority has an exemption from the rules of morality that apply to the silly little peasants, the kids in school. They have one set of morality, and the masters, the ruling class, has a different set of rules. In fact, they hardly have any rules at all.
I want to ask you this. Yeah. I want to ask you this part. I remember when you were focusing a lot on the law as it applied to taxes.
Yep.
And your mindset then, was it different than it is now?
No. And I can tell you why I focused on the law thing.
Oh, no, you got to tell us when we come back after the break. At the top of the hour. See, hour went by already. Really fast. See, when you're talking to Larken, you're going to need 2 full hours. When we come back after the top of the hour into the second hour, we're going to be talking about, when did he have this revelation, this epiphany that the problem was just the superstition of government in and of itself? And why did he focus on the tax law if he had that convinced state of mind already? We're going to have to talk to him some more in the second hour to even understand how is it that he was focused on the law when he didn't have any respect for that authority to begin with. We're going to find out. Larken Rose with Ernest Hancock on Declare Your Independence. More in just a little bit. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the mainstream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.